Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 9 Inches Kid and Severide's Pregnancy Closer to Reality. So much has happened in Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 9, A Favor, but amid the chaos, the outing also inches theories about Kelly Severide and Stella Kidd getting pregnant into reality. The longest active couple in the first responder procedural has gone through so much over the years, both professionally and personally. Both endured hardships in their previous romances that initially made their relationship trickier to navigate. That said, when they finally got married in the Chicago Fire Season 10 finale, it took their dynamic to a whole new level. In Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 9, Kidd is revealed to be out of town for her Girls on Fire program. While the narrative doesn't have a connection with what's happening in Firehouse 51, her absence is part of Wolf Entertainment's scheme of rotating cast members all year long. Back at home, Wallace Bowden's replacement, Dom Pascal, and the rest of the squad continue with their affairs. That said, the 2025 mid-season premiere also answers some of the biggest questions left by the show when it went on hiatus, including the professional status of Mouch McHolland and Christopher Herman. At the top of the hour, Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 9 confirms that the veteran members of Firehouse 51 have passed their respective exams. For context, Quicksand, the show's final episode of 2024, wrapped up as the pair was about to enter their testing rooms, leaving the resolution to the narrative hanging. Before he left, Herman was personally chosen by Bowden to replace him as the Firehouse's new battalion chief. However, when he missed the next text, his attempt at taking it coincided with Mouch's own desire to move up the ranks. Because Herman's promotion has clear ramifications for Firehouse 51, as he potentially better positions himself to take over from Pascal, Mouch moving up the ladder doesn't seem like it'll be as significant. As discussed multiple times, there is currently no room in the team to take over a segment, hence why Joe Cruz backed out of taking the lieutenant's exam, as he revealed earlier in Chicago Fire Season 13. That being said, Mouch's new role may actually have bigger ramifications than originally perceived. While McHolland doesn't have a team to lead, having the designation makes it easier for him to slide up whenever possible. That's exactly what happens in Chicago Fire Season 13, Episode 9 when Pascal asks Mouch to fill in for Kidd during a call. Granted that it is temporary, this option makes it easier for Severide and his wife to decide to start a family, knowing that Truck 81 will be in capable hands once she inevitably needs to step back from calls and either be on desk duty or maternity leave. Severide has been clear about wanting to start a family. He mentioned this desire in the Chicago Fire Season 12 finale after Sylvie Brett Casey offered an update about her new life in Portland, Oregon with Matt Casey. Kidd was obviously taken aback by the confession, and they haven't revisited the matter since. While One Chicago will hopefully continue to explore her apprehension about getting pregnant at this point, knowing Mouch can take over her team would presumably quell some of her fears. For those who have followed Severide and Kidd's love story for a long time, it's difficult not to root for them to have a family. Not only is it the natural progression of their relationship, having been married for a couple of years now, but also because of the eagerness to see them actually be parents. Both had difficult childhoods, and it would be interesting to see how that would impact the way they raise their own kid, if they will. That being said, if it will only lead to another complication in their relationship, then it's best to hold off on it. To say that things haven't been easy for them as a couple would be an understatement, especially after Severide's sudden disappearance in Chicago Fire Season 11 to prioritize OFI. It would be unfair for Kidd to be left with a baby to raise if her husband pulls something similar again. At the very least, Chicago Fire needs to show that the couple is fully ready and willing to start a family. In the midst of chaos, both at the firehouse and in their personal lives, Kelly Severide and Stella Kidd found themselves standing on the precipice of a new chapter. The pregnancy they'd been discussing for months had finally moved from the realm of dreams to a tangible reality. The emotional weight of the moment was not lost on either of them. It had been a long road for Kidd and Severide, one filled with adrenaline-pumping rescues, heart-stopping moments, and a fair share of personal struggles. They had always been the kind of couple who embraced the unknown, their bond forged in the fires of the most dangerous and unpredictable situations. Yet, as they stood side by side, each of them holding their breath as they stared at the positive pregnancy test in Stella's shaking hands, this moment felt different. Stella had always been the one to handle crises with unflinching resolve, but even she could feel the soft flutter of uncertainty stirring in her chest. She had always been confident in her abilities as a firefighter and as a leader, but this was something entirely new. She had spent years putting the job first, not allowing herself to imagine a life where she could balance her responsibilities with the demands of motherhood. But as she looked at Severide, the man she loved with every inch of her being, something clicked. It wasn't just about her anymore, it was about their family, their future. "Stella," Kelly said quietly, his voice breaking through the silence. "We're gonna be parents. I mean, it's real, right? This isn't just a dream." Stella laughed softly, her eyes glistening with emotion. "It's real. It's really real." Kelly stepped closer to her, reaching out to gently take her hand in his. "I've never been so scared and excited at the same time," he admitted, his voice thick with sincerity. "But I know one thing for sure. I'm in this with you, every step of the way." The weight of his words settled between them, and for the first time in a long time, Stella let out a deep breath, a sense of relief washing over her. She hadn't been sure how Severide would react. Despite their shared dreams of starting a family, it was always a question of timing. When was the right moment? But now, standing together in the quiet of their home, she knew they had found the right time. "Me too," she whispered, leaning into him as they shared a long, heartfelt kiss. The firehouse was a whirlwind of activity as usual, but there was a new undercurrent of anticipation running through the crew. Word had gotten out about Severide and Kid's pregnancy, and while most of the team was thrilled for them, there was a sense of heightened awareness as everyone wondered how their lives would shift with the arrival of the baby. It was a big change for everyone, not just the expectant parents. Cruz, ever the supportive friend, was one of the first to congratulate them. His smile was wide, his excitement infectious. "I always knew it was gonna happen. You two are gonna be great parents. The little one's gonna have the best firefighter genes." Severide chuckled, clapping Cruz on the back. "Let's hope they get Stella's calm under pressure and not my tendency to jump into danger." "Yeah, good luck with that," Cruz teased, winking at Stella. "If the kid inherits your firefighting instincts, we might need to have a serious talk about safety gear." As the shift wore on, the reality of their new situation began to sink in for both Severide and Kid. They knew that becoming parents would require sacrifices, something they had both always been fiercely protective of when it came to their careers. But they were determined to make it work. Their love for each other, their commitment to the job, and their new baby were all threads in the intricate fabric of their lives. And for the first time, they realized they had everything they needed to navigate the road ahead. As they faced the challenges of their work with the same level of intensity they always had, there was a quiet undercurrent of love and excitement that followed them home. Every call, every rescue, felt different now. The knowledge that they were about to bring a new life into the world made every moment feel even more precious, and they approached their work with a renewed sense of purpose. When it came time to share the news with their families, they knew it was going to be emotional. Stella had always been close with her sister, but sharing the news with her parents was more daunting. She had no idea how they would react to the idea of their daughter, a firefighter, becoming a mother herself. But when the moment finally came, she was overwhelmed by their support and love. "Stella, we're so happy for you," her mother said, tears in her eyes. "We know you've always been strong, but this is different. You're going to be an amazing mother."